I'm CK. Today we have another kit from Vigurtime. This is a spectrum analyzer LCD LED display kind of fun little thing. We'll take a look at it, see if we can learn anything from the circuit, put it together, and I hope you enjoy the video. The box, and it's a little notable that Vigurtime seems to have upgraded their packaging a little bit. Nothing on it except a UPC code and an abbreviated description. Okay, here's inside the box. Audio Spectrum DIY kit. Bunch of LEDs. Nothing else in the box. We'll get that ready for recycling tonight. Now, let's see what we got. We've got a piece of paper, USB power cable, always nice. And we've got a bunch of stuff. We've got some spacers and screws. Got some electronic components, looks like a rheostat or potentiometer. Some electrolytic caps, some push button switches, tactile switches, some resistors, a power connector and a microphone. All good. And here's the, I don't see the LEDs anywhere. Oh, well that's why. All the LEDs are already installed on this big 8x8 matrix. That's too bad. I was hoping to, oh, and the other circuit boards in there too. I was hoping to solder all those on myself, but not this time. This side up. Upsy City. And it does, oh, here we go. There's a microprocessor, surface mount microprocessor already on the board. So there's not a lot to do here. Some resistors, all of which have their values listed. Same with the transistor capacitors. This looks like a programming port for that microprocessor if we wanted to do that. Don't know what an H7133 is. I think it's probably a voltage regulator. I'll look it up. Some caps and some pads. I don't know what those pads are for. Let me look over here. Oh, the pads are to connect to here. This is VT17, Vigurtime 17. I think we did 16 a week or two ago. I don't know. And we've got the case pieces. We've all got plastic film on them. I will remove that off camera because that's not exciting to look at. And here we've got a little piece of, not a little piece, a piece of material, plastic that will go there to form a grid around the LEDs so they don't bleed over into each other, I guess. And then a couple of more case pieces and a little thinner piece of something. We'll look at that in a bit. I mean, when we get to it in the build. Where did I put the instructions? Oh, there they are. Fun project, fun time. Oh, it's got a Atmel microprocessor on it. Excuse me. And, oh yeah, it's got a low dropout linear regulator. That's 7133 I mentioned, to convert 5 volts to 3.3 volts for the LED, or it's supplied to the microcontroller. Okay. And then it's got a microphone circuit using a triode or a transistor to amplify the signal from the mic and provide it to the A to D converter interface of the microcontroller. And here's the schematic. That looks pretty good. And showing you the grid. And pictures for all the installation. So this looks like it'll be a quick kit. It'll be an probably a fun kit when we're done. That's nice. So that's it. I'll get the soldering iron heated up and we'll put this thing together. All the protective film is off the case pieces, so we don't have to worry about that. Now let's get our electronic bits into their own little bin. If I can get them out of the bag. And of course this bin is actually a stainless steel cat food bowl, but it works very well as a parts bin, besides the fact that it's non-magnetized, which I like. It also has a depth of about, let's see what the actual depth is. Depth of about 33 millimeters, so nothing's going to bounce out. I've been frustrated by that in the past, so I'm using these. Got them for my cats first, and then I said these will make great parts bins, so I got a couple more. And it's from a company called Basis Pet, www.basispet.com. They have a bunch of stamped steel products. These are real heavy-duty steel, which is nice. Let's see, but I'm not doing an ad for somebody else's product. I'm putting this thing together. So we're going to put the capacitors on first, the disc caps, I believe. And they are 104s, and looks like they're all 104s, or 100 nanofarad. And they are not polarized, so they can go in either orientation. And again, all the component locations are marked with their values, so it's easy to see where things go. Though the build guide does have pictures. They're not I'm going to nitpick here, but they're not really comprehensive pictures. In other words, they don't show you where each of the components go. But again, this is such a small board, I can certainly understand that. And then we're going to put the electrolytics in. Where does he say? He shows putting the transistors in, but I don't see where he mentions them in the guide. Oh, it's on this page. Okay, good. So we'll put those on also. And again, one is a transistor, one is a voltage regulator, the 7133, which is what I have in my hand right now. So bend the middle pin back a little bit, put it on the board like so. Like so, he says, trying to get the product to cooperate with him. Flat side of the transistor, or voltage regulator, faces the flat side of the printing on the board. And here's the actual transistor. It's a 3904. Which is, again, as the intro says, is picking up the impulses from the microphone and amplifying them and feeding them into the analog input on the microprocessor, which will convert it to a digital signal that it can then work with. I'm not soldering anything yet because I want to build up a number. Let's see, are both capacitors the same? They are, that's 20 microfarad, or 220, yeah, they're both 220s. And there is a clear indication of where the long pin, the positive lead, goes with a plus sign, and a shaded area that corresponds to the negative side where the white stripe is. Now you may notice as I put these on, they're not facing the same way. The negatives face each other. The positive lead on the top one goes that way, positive lead on the bottom one goes this way. Now, want to put resistors on? We may as well put resistors on. We'll put the 10Ks on right now. Let's see how close we had to bend the leads. You can leave about 1 millimeter of space on the leads. I'll speed this part up for a little bit Then we've got a 1 meg ohm resistor at the top. And now I will solder all these guys down. Now we'll put two things more on the front. We'll put the variable resistor, which I'm going to assume is for microphone sensitivity. It could be for speed, but I don't think that's the case in this kit. I think this is for microphone sensitivity. See, I'm supporting it with my pinky finger, but once I've got one pin soldered, I can let it go. And don't forget these two support legs up here. I'll get a little more heat on that. Now we'll put the power connector down here. That's where we'll put our USB power in. And again, I'll support that with my ring finger this time. Do one leg. Let it cool. Now it's fine. And I'm going to glob a lot of solder on this power connector because that provides a little more mechanical strength, because you're going to be putting power cord in and out, and those solder joints are the only thing really holding this in place. So you want to make sure you have a good solid connection there. Now the other stuff here goes on the back. We've got this red-bodied switch, which I'm going to make a guess is the power switch. And we've got two tactile push-button switches, just clicky-clicky push buttons that are momentary. They are not square, they have one side longer than the other, so it's difficult to get them in wrong. You can if you force it, but I'll put the microphone in. The microphone is polarized, but as long as you put it inside the circle printed on the board, you'll get the polarity right. Now I'm going to flip this back over, and I'm going to support this switch first. That's flat. Then I'm going to, there's another little nub of solder. I use every bit of solder because, as you can imagine, I go through a lot of solder on this channel. So that's all the components on the back. That's all the components on the front. I think what's next? We're going to connect the two boards. Let me recycle the cameras to reset their internal timers. For some reason, Nikon thinks 29 minutes is long enough for any video. They're wrong, but that's okay. Now we're going to connect the two boards kind of like that. That's the way they're going to go. This is the back, and you may notice there's some writing here. Short press on this switch to switch functions from spectrum to mouth effect to pixel art, and short press on this button to adjust the brightness. Now, we're going to be putting them on together like this, so we've got to connect wires from between the two boards. And what we're going to do to get ready for that is we're going to get a bigger piece of solder, because I want to use this up too, and make a little pool of solder on each of these pads. Just like so. Now we're going to put our wires in here. I'm going to use black. How are these going to go? I guess I can do that. I'll use black for ground. So I'm going to reheat that little pool of solder, stick the wire in it, take my soldering iron away, and it is firmly affixed. And I'm going to take DVCC and use the red wire on that. Again, I guess that I should look at the pictures to see what they choose to do. Well, they're doing the same thing I'm doing. Doesn't matter what color you put where. You just have to remember which one is which. And now we'll do the same thing here. Take the black wire. This is a little bit, can be a little bit tricky, and I'll probably end up twisting the wires when I put it actually together. Black wire there. D in to the D out yellow. And that's the going to be setting which LED, I guess the amplitude of the spectrum lines. I don't know about the color. I don't know how many colors this thing comes with. And there we go. So we are electrically done. I can turn off the soldering iron. Let me clean the tip one last time. And turn the soldering iron off so I don't forget. Now they do recommend that you give it a try, because we're at the point where it's electrically all together. So we can take the little power cord, plug it in. I don't know what position this, I'm assuming that's out for the power switch, but I don't know for sure. So we'll plug that in like so to give it some power, and we'll turn it on. Oh my! Golly, that's bright. Hi to you! 1, 2. Oh, it seems to be working, but that's awful bright. Let me turn this. Oh, mainly we were just checking to see if it works. It works, so I'm not going to fuss with it more now. We'll wait until it's all put together to do that. So now is time to put the case together. How are we going to do that? Okay, we're going to take this black piece, and this black piece will go on the back. You can see it's got holes for the switches, hole for the microphone, hole for the power switch. What are we going to do next? Oh, we're going to build up our little... Oh, I skipped a step. Sorry. We want to put some of these standoffs on, because these are what we're going to be screwing things together with. Speaking of which, let me get a Phillips head screwdriver ready. Where is my Phillips head? There it is. It's in the wrong part of the tool rack. So we're going to take a long one and a short one with threading on it. We're going to put the short one through like so, and then screw this on. I'm only going to do this with my hands. I'm not going to try and tighten it with a wrench. Okay, now go back to what we were doing. Put that through like that, and now we're going to build up the... Oh, I didn't get all the... What? Wow, that's... Huh. It's got a little messiness to it. I didn't get all the covering off it. And it feels like it's... Huh. Looks like it has some blemishes on it. But that's okay. So this is the one, the red piece that you're going to... Oh, I'm going to do something else here, I think. Let's see, let me see what this says. Oh yeah, we want to actually put this on. We want to screw this on to the back. Oh yeah, talking about the brightness of those LEDs, I didn't notice this front panel piece is actually a little translucent. So it'll dim that to a certain extent. But back to what we were doing. So this piece with the square cutout is going to go here where the power connector is. And I think all the others, oh yeah, we've got the dial slot, sensitivity dial slot will go through here. Does it go this way? Yes, it does. Try to balance all this stuff. Putting together cases is often the hardest part of building these kits. Like right now, I'm fumbling with it. Okay, those pieces are in. Oh, I've got a piece of wire sticking out a little bit. There we go. Now these other two just go in pretty simply. Okay, so that's that. What do we do next? Next we're going to put our separator. Separates the LEDs from each other. Get it past the skin of my thumb. Now we're going to put this on top with cat hair on it to dim that down a little bit more again. Now we'll take this translucent cover piece, get it on all the slots. Yay! We got it all together. Good. Now we'll take these big old screws, make sure they pass through all the layers that we've built up here. I'll get my little polishing cloth and get my big greasy thumbprint off it. And there it is. That's what we got. That works. Well, that's unfortunate. You know, they had the little information about what these buttons do. Well, you can't see that information because it's inside the black case. Oh well. Now, let me turn this light off. And we'll plug it in again. Now we'll turn it on again. There's a happy face, high, and now it's much more defined. As you can see, it's not as bright, and there's clear definition between the LEDs, and that's my voice. Pretty neat. Let's hit some of the buttons. Let's hit this button. That must be the mouth. That's kind of cute. Then I think they said digital art here. Okay, there's a heart. Oh, I don't know how you switch it. Maybe the other button. No, that's the dimmer. How am I supposed to change this? It says it's got 12. Oh, it just changed on its own. I guess it's on a timer. I don't know what that's a picture of. Toggle by tapping the shell. Oh, it must have a, it must pick up, let me do it, I think I may be able to do it vocally. That's a birdie. Bop, bop, bop. Yeah, it's looking for a short impulse of sound through the microphone to make the change. Now we'll go back to that. I'll dim it. That's very dim. There's setting 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like it's got 5 levels of brightness. So let me turn the sensitivity dial down. Dial is all the way down and it's not doing anything. Take it up a little bit, take it up, turn that back down a little, take it up a lot, take it up all the way it just maxes out. So I like it. I like it about there. Let me get some music out, just for fun. Where's the music player? Where's... I'll do one of my own songs so I don't get any copyright. That's a song of mine called Designer Eyes, just so you know. And that's it. That's a pretty good unit, and it went together very well. And it's got a good schematic to show you what's going on. And could be fun sitting in the corner of your room or on your desk or something like that. So that was fun. Another good one from Vigurtime. And I hope you enjoyed the video.